Welcome back to Inside Line Football with head football coach Tim Clifton. I'm Cam Down along with Coach Tim Clifton and Coach our Ask the Coach section of the program. The last conference game last year was the Tornadoes. Okay, the schedule sort of flip-flopped on you a tad. Now they're our first conference game. Explain to us, do you look more at what they've done the first couple of games because they are the first Southland team, or do you sort of, because Hamilton, he's been there a while, do you sort of look at other years and see what they've done?
Well, you got to look at all of it. You go back and look at last year. You go back, look at your breakdowns from a year ago, this early in the year. Now, if they'd already played 7 or 8 games,
right. It's different.
Yeah, it's different. But being this early in the year, you go back and try to look for the tendencies. You try to look at things that they did last year, they did this year, and they'll do the same thing with us. They'll go back and look at what we did against them a year ago and all the breakdowns they had before we played them, and then they'll break down what we've done this year. And Paul and I are good friends. We've come back for probably 20 years,
right?
Or more, and he does a great job.
He's older though, right?
Well, I don't know about that.
I'll give you a shot there, Coach.
Yeah, we met each other back when he was in the Air Force. I was at Fairham College, and we were running the same offense back there. And he does a good job. I mean, he knows exactly what the adjustments are on offense, what the wishbone, and then on defense they're just very sound and keep everything in front of them. What you see is what you're going to get. And he's probably going to say the same thing about us. What he's saying he's going to get. I mean, there's not many secrets in what each one of us is going to do, what each team's going to do this weekend. It's going to come down to execution.
Every team is offensively is different. Do you look at players more, or is it just a coach gets ingrained maybe in what he likes to do? He's an option guy. He likes option. Or another guy, he likes to throw the ball all over the place. Do you look at players to fit your system, or you make your players fit your system?
Well, I think each school is just a tad different. There's a difference there. If you can recruit certain kids, you'll recruit it for what you will want. And if you have to recruit some kids that'll fit the bone, and that's the kind of kids you can get. I mean, that's like Army, Navy, Air Force, those guys, that's what they can get, and that's what they're going to recruit. And I think Paul decided a few years ago that he was going to be in the bone. And he knows how to recruit those kind of kids, and kids that can run that offense.
Hard-nosed guys.
Yeah, and we're more of a tailback type of offense. We've just had so many great running backs here over the years. And then now we've got a guy that can throw it extremely well. So
not bad.
You just you try to put those two together.
Tornadoes are 1-1 coming in. They're a game last Saturday at 38-35 overtime win against Johnson C. Smith. What did you see in film from last week that sort of concerns you, or you're excited about?
Well, they made Johnson C. Smith pay for making mistakes. If you don't play your responsibilities on defense, they're going to make you pay. You got to take the fullback on every play, and you got to take the quarterback. You got to take the pitch. It sounds easy, but it's not.
Right.
And you got to play assignment football, and they made Johnson C. Smith pay the price when they didn't execute on defense, and then their defense kept Johnson C. Smith, in front of them most of the game. So, and they got exactly what they wanted. They got him in overtime,
right,
and won in overtime.
Defensive coordinator has to be. I mean, in this conference, especially, you've got Rivard, you got Carson Noon, you got the spread option, and then you got the spread offense. What's the difference between in preparation wise for a bone team versus just a spread team?
Well, in the bone, they gonna load you with those halfbacks. They gonna cut you in. Those guys are gonna come out and cut block you, and then in the spread, you don't have those guys attacking your flank and cutting you. The read is the same. Those guys, it's according to where they run in the veer, the zone read, but and then the split back veer is completely different than the bone in that it hits so much quicker, and it's so much faster. And the problem with the wishbone itself and the veer is trying to emulate it in practice. It's trying to do the way they do it, and it's extremely hard to do.
And on the offensive side of the ball, of course, you have to have speedy guys, but on the other side of the ball, when you're against a option team or a bone team, homework is very important, and you always hear it on television all the time, stay at home, but
yeah.
It's really just reading.
Yeah, I mean, you got to understand, work on the schemes, and then their quarterback, he has a chance to make you, he blocks you, you know, he blocks you by reading. I mean, I ran it years ago when we were at Ferrum College, and you know what we always told the quarterback is you blocking these two, and we don't have to block them, you block them. So in reality, he's making the reads, and if he's right, you better be right.
Keys to the Game, sponsored by Carolina Farm Credit. Coach, give us keys to victory. Brevard College on Saturday, the Tornadoes and the Lions.
Well, we had, as we were talking about, we've got to play a silent football on defense, and I tell you, we can't miss tackles. They run so hard and they're physical, and we better make the tackles and do a good job of tackling them. And then the other thing is when we get a football, we better make it count, because if they want to, they can let the air out of it. So we've got to, when we get the ball, we've got to make it count and score.
Coach, I'll see you after the win.
Thank you.
You've been watching Inside Line Football with head football coach Tim Clifton. Saturday, kickoff at 2 o'clock. If you can't make it, shame on you. But if you can't make it, 1 o'clock on www.mhclions.com. The In the Huddle on this Bojangles Saturday pregame show, and then kickoff at 2 o'clock from Brevard High School. It's not the college, it is at the high school. So the Lions and the Tornadoes in the first South Atlantic Conference season, our first South Atlantic Conference game of the season. We're glad you watched us here tonight on Inside Line Football. We'll see you next week. Come and join the Lions on Saturday in Brevard for another big win. You've been watching Inside Line Football. I'm Cam Dowdle for Coach Clifton. Thanks for listening.